What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Happy Australia Day, Advance Australia Fair. Shout out to all the Aussies. Aussie, it's a public holiday here in Australia. It's my Monday, 2:15 p.m. Schedule's all out of whack. I'm a guy who operates optimally with a routine. So whenever there's a holiday or I'm on holiday and take time off, I kind of don't like it, which sounds a little bit, probably could sound a little bit weird to some people. But yeah, I like being in my routine. So I'm going live now at 2:15. Watch the two NFL conference championship games, the Rams Seahawks game, good game, and then the Blizzard in Denver. News is breaking actually about Bo Nix's injury, which was interesting. They're saying that he actually broke his foot celebrating in the locker room and that Denver was trying to cover that up. I'm sure more will come out about that. And then Seattle in the Super Bowl. Great work. That's probably who I'm cheering for. Well, there's Buckeyes on both sides, considering New England's coached by a Buckeye and Travion Henderson runs the ball there. And then we got, in Jigba, Jackson Smith and Jigba being a star in Seattle. So I don't know. It'd be interesting who I'm going to go for. I don't know yet. That's in a couple weeks. Big week of boxing that was. We had the big Zuffa card. We went 100% on our parlays. Hit a plus 550 with the Zuffa parlay. And then we hit our dog of the week with J-Rod on Zuffa. One for two with the dogs, and then missed on the plus 550 with the Onda. And then the Matchroom card, the only one we missed on was Cruz. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. But wherever you are in the world, I hope you are doing good as you guys are tapping in. Let's see what time it is. Let me know what's up. Julius already knows what time it is. We are definitely dog hunting. Julius, dog the bounty hunter. So I'm going to go over real quick the weekend that just was. It's one benefit of using my timeline, using my Instagram timeline to do this. Khalil Cole, we up, baby. What'd you guys think of that one? What'd you guys think of that fight? Khalil Cole versus Jesse Hart. I mean, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. We hit on it, but people are like, "Oh, Jesse Hart won." Yeah, I mean, neither guy really was fighting like they wanted to win. I mean, neither guy was doing much. Both guys had points deducted. Coase started fighting a little bit better mid rounds. I gave him some of the more like 5, maybe 6, 7, and 8. I'd have to relook. Their points taken off at like what in the 5th on Coe, and then in the 8th I think on Hart, and it was a weird fight. Did I think Coe won? Nah. Do I think it was a robbery? Nah, it wasn't. Neither guy really was fighting like they wanted to win. The scorecards though were crazy. The scorecards were crazy. You'd have to really, the biggest take home for me would be like, is Khalil Coe? Does he want to fight? Shout out to, this is Clemente. I like giving our squad shout outs. That's what I use my gram for too. So JSB Insiders, we up. Clemente Vega says, thanks to you and Julius for the fire picks. Julius is a savage. And this was before Julius's big hit came through. So people were already giving Julius props. Right here. People were already giving Julius props. So in my hometown, it is a blizzard. So I posted this because it's a direct contrast. It's not 99 today, but it was 99 yesterday. When it's 99, I don't even leave the house, by the way. Morataya versus Cruz. That's me acting like a weirdo, shadow boxing during the fight. All right, here we go. Look, this is the only fight I lost on Matchroom on the parlay. I'm not mad at it. I said all week, I'm a fan of Morataya. I said all week my money was on Cruz, but I was cheering for Morataya. I'm glad Morataya won. He was a rightful winner. That wasn't a robbery either. It was very close. It was fun to watch. Andy Cruz is a high level boxer. So I even though he lost, I don't put Andy Cruz in the category of Albert Gaziev. I don't put Andy Cruz in the category of Galal Yafai. I don't put Andy Cruz in the category of Umiha Sofian. I don't put Andy Cruz in the category of Yenis Tellez. Andy Cruz will be a world champion. He that mate, some of those exchanges, watching those two float in and out of range and counter and slip what a beautiful fight to watch, man. And I just think as I was watching it, the biggest downfall for Andy was the last two rounds. He kind of disappeared a bit. And then also Morataya was way better than I thought he was going to be in terms of matching Andy Cruz. My coach used to say match and mirror. If you feel that you're being out skilled by a guy, at least you can match and mirror his tempo or match and mirror, his energy. And Morataya never once looked less than Cruz in terms of energy. He stayed on him the whole time, and he never faded. Talk about conditioning. Talk about the shape Morataya came in. I was blown away. I was already a fan of Morataya, but I thought that Andy Cruz, I thought his fight IQ, I thought his speed was going to be too much. But Morataya was sharp. Sometimes sharpness can counteract speed. And his conditioning, man, I can't say it enough. Robert Garcia, hats off to you. Team RGBA, hats off to you. Robert always has his fighters ready. It was a beautiful game plan. The trust between fighter and coach was evident with those two. Moratai stuck to the game plan, and I'm not mad. I thought he did enough, man. I was already a fan going into it, and I knew that if he would fight well, he would gain more fans. This is a guy at 29 years old. People were like, there's this weird narrative in boxing. If a belt gets vacated and you get elevated, that you were gifted a belt, that's horseshit. No fighter in that position who's even in a position to be elevated has been gifted anything. These guys have fought their entire career since they were children, training, sacrificing, dedicating their mind and body to the game. So when Morataya was elevated to the belt and now he got a chance to defend, I was already a fan. I already felt that he was, people didn't respect. They kind of underestimated him. And like I said, this is the type of channel I run. This is not a casual channel. This is not one of these channels to where even though I lost money, I would have won so much more money. My parlay streak, I would have gone 34 in a row. My record is 54 in a row last year between March and April and May. And I thousands more in the bank. But, I'm not mad. I'm not in this. I'm not a gambler. Like my intention with what I do is for boxing. An outcome of that is us having fun with showing off our knowledge of the game. But I'm glad with Moratai's win, man. He that energy, man, that the conditioning, because skill. We've seen time and time again skilled fighters, really athletically gifted guys. If you don't have the gas tank or cardio, this will come back to haunt you. This guy has both, man. Way sharper than I was expecting. Shout out to Morataya. And yeah, so this was the all. Okay, so it was 39 out of 40. So that Cruz, if Andy wins that, this is just one of the tickets. So that would have been my 40th in a row on the money line. These are all the boys in the group, JSB Insiders. If you guys aren't in our Discord, click the link that's pinned in the bio. The Discord boys, the JSB Insiders know every week I give you a long parlay of just money line picks. And so people online, oh, but you're picking favorites. I'm like, bitch, that's one parlay. You want me to pick losers? You weirdo? People are crazy. They're like, but you pick favorites. Okay, you want me to pick losers? You crazy? And these are my words right after. And, I stand by them. Even though I picked Andy, Ray won that fight much better than I expected. Great work, young man. I stand by that. And here we go. So, yeah, dating back to the start of the month, January, on the money line the whole month, the only bet, and all my receipts are on YouTube. Go check them out. The only fight that I lost on the money line in Johnny Says Boxing Discord is that Andy Cruz. We would have been 40 for 40. I would have been so close to my record of 54 in a row. But we're all good. We start a new streak this week, boys. We got a lot of big fights this week. I can't wait to break them all down. I was rewatching Bakar Murtazala versus Jack Kolke. I just rewatched Joshua Kelly versus Troy Williamson. Um, you know, you. I don't think you need to go back to the Avanesian fight. I could save you some time. The Avanesian fight, he ran out of gas. He really was a victim of his reflex style and the lack of efficiency. If Josh, and I've seen Josh work on that over the last section of his career, being more efficient with his gas tank and not wasting as much. He's still a reflex fighter. He still does all that stuff, but way less. You know, watch the Ray Robinson fight too. Ray Robinson is a tough Philly fighter, but even that was like 5 years ago. Going into this week, considering my January long parlay got dusted, I'm still open. Nothing is in concrete yet with any of my picks because that long-term parlay got dusted. So it's time to, revisit the whole, the old saying, time to go back to the drawing board. So as we do our lives every single day, when I make a pick concrete, you'll be the first to know. Kids a beast, Morataya, baby, danger. Okay, so this is interesting. 135-pound champs. This is a conversation we could have. Maybe not today. Who's the king at 35 right now? Morataya elevated himself. We know Shakur's fighting at 40. How long is the WBC gonna let him do that? Probably a long time, as long as he wants. We'll see. He fights this weekend against Teo and Abdullah Mason. Kid was fast tracked. Just fought in a fight of the year contender. And fought well and became the youngest champ in boxing. Northeast Ohio, that's where I'm from. So I'm a fan of him. But Morataya, you got to put his name right there at the top. All right, and then that's just me effing around. All right, cool. I'm going to pull up some of the... Actually, I'm going to take your questions now. I'm going to start saying my what's ups. Guys, we're 12 minutes in. 25 to 30 people in here, man. I appreciate you guys. David Eister, I lost over 1,000 on Madrimov. Oh, God. David, if you were in our Discord, you would have listened to my boy Julius, who said take Madrimov on points. He came on the live stream. And David, you hate that division. You don't like the 154-pound division. We know that, brother. I hate hearing that you lost thousands, though, bro. I'm sorry. It makes me sick. Yeah, damn. I didn't have action on Madrimov. I threw him at a 8-1 favorite on my long parlay, but that was it. I didn't get sexy with it. No, Julius picked Madrimov on points. So Julius is looking ahead. Ryo, yep. Josh. I think Josh is in for a tougher fight than people think. I'm not saying he's going to lose, but Padley's in for a competitive fight, man. Carlos Adames and is that Big Baby Miller? Jarrell? Oh, God. Yuck. Yo, Johnny, big wins, good stuff as usual. Manny, we're still good. It's a team. It really is a team effort. Julius, I left you a message. I left you a voice message, all right? Have a look at your schedule this week, and let's plan for you to come on live so I could shout you out and, schedule it in. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you're free one of the days, and I'll make time for you. Yeah, Manny, thank you, brother. You as well. Yeah, because Julius, the boy, you're becoming a well-known you're becoming a well-known sharp, brother. We want to hear your picks. Yeah, Julius not only was standing on business with Madrimov by decision, he also took Morataya. Everybody took Cruz except Julius. You also took Morataya. You a beast. New Orleans in the house. No Limit in the house. Mr. Ice Cream Man. It was a robbery. Clear as day, baby. Clear as day. Which one, Will? Which one are we talking? Highway robbery, no ski mask on the Kofa. Yeah, that was hard. That whole fight, King. That whole fight was crazy. The scorecards were crazy. The announcers were crazy. I mean, yeah. I like one of the things I tell some of my younger clients, and my undergrad, I don't talk about it a lot. Is in sports psychology. So one of the elements of my business of coaching clients here in Sydney is helping people with mental blocks, right? The thing I always tell them is if somebody is doing something in this life that you want to do, then you could do it. When I was a younger kid, I struggled a lot with inferiority complex. Growing up as a young buck, my parents were on welfare. They had 4 kids. My mom didn't get a good job until I was 14, and we moved into a nice neighborhood at 14. But up until then, man, I grew up on food stamps. There was never any food. I was always hungry and in a shitty neighborhood. And that led, even though like my mom and my dad came out of it, and that's why this tattoo's for my mom. She's the strongest woman I know. That inferiority complex stuck with me for years into my late teens and my 20s, and I had to work through it and realize what that was, right? I say all that because this is why you'll never hear me badmouth and go on rants about announcers, about fighters. I'll call out some judges and I'll call out some referees, but I feel projecting like a really hateful narrative on somebody who's a professional, who's worked their entire life to get to where they are, considering there's hundreds of people who would want to be where they are, and there's probably somebody's example. I'm not gonna trash any man or women by name, but the the judges, some of the announcers, boy, it was terrible. What's up with the Pro Box card? You looking at yes, Magic Kush. We love Pro Box. Yeah, it's tough for me right now to look too far ahead because oh yeah, I forgot I could just pull it up on this screen. Let's have a look. There are so many fights it actually gives me anxiety. I actually get anxiety sometimes about like, oh shit, I have to break down this fight. It's a fit. I'm gonna get toasted if I lose. Like I take this shit serious, boys. Like I might laugh a lot because I like humor, but I get anxiety sometimes. All right, here we go. So this is just the Brian Flores Sterling Castillo, bro. That is a firefight. That's a fight nobody's talking about. Flores Castillo, even money. Turhan is fighting again. So, guys, if you remember her, she's fought a couple months ago. Elif Turhan, she won by knockout. A lot of the boys in the chat were like, they're putting her right up next to Gabby in terms of betting props. So I'll keep reminding you guys when betting props open, we're probably going to be sprinkling something on Ellie Turn by knockout. Jacob Bank Williams Skull. Look at these odds, guys. There are fights. This is something we should talk about now. We got to be careful this weekend not to be a victim of plentifulness because there's so many fights. We get big-eyed and you get kind of like a kid in a candy store. You bet on every fight. There are within all these fights 3 or 4 with really, really great odds that I feel if we're slick and we're smart about it, I'll still do my big long parlay like always. That's a JSB classic. And then when we hit, people will still clown us because they're all favorites. And then when we lose, we'll still get clowned. But we also have those like smaller ones, like a steal of the week, a dog of the week. I'm going to do like the value parlay. And then we added the cycle parlay. Shout out to King. Randy. Shout out to Randy on Instagram. And in our Discord, his name's Peanut. With the cycle parlay, I think. So this Josh Padley fight against Belmetti. I mean, I'm not saying Padley's gonna lose, but do your tape, Julius. Do your tape on Belmetti. Josh Kelly versus Murtazaev. Odds. Great fight to bet. Shushu Carrington versus Castro. Method of victory. When odds come out, great fight to bet. Adames versus Ammo. Method of victory. A great fight to bet when odds come out. Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine. There's props in all these fights that, you know, this is one I think, man, are people sleeping on Ortiz, guys? Are people sleeping on Jermaine? Jermaine on points is plus 900. Guys, I've watched Jermaine's entire career, man. He has been in there with the best. It's his division. I can make a play for, mate, I can make a play for Ortiz. I'm a big Keyshawn fan. I'm just saying, dude, we got some opportunities here. Plus 900, Ortiz on points. Guys, that is hard to pass up. That's insane. Super disrespectful considering Keyshawn's psychological issues, being stripped, going up a weight class, a new fight camp. Jermaine Ortiz, the mindset is exactly similar to Morataya's. This is a guy who, same, storied career, amateur career, feels like people overlooked him, loses close fights. I mean, this plus 900 on points to me is absolutely wild. This is a fun prospect out of, is he Dutch? Greatest Kraus. Greatest Kraus is fighting this weekend. Rohan Polanco fighting a guy at 33-1 dog. That's like Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas area. And then Teofimo versus Shakur. Xander versus Basparao. I mean, people were really kind of throwing away to Basparao. This guy, he was a 5-1 dog against Tejas and looked good. What's up, dude? Garcia's game plan is always on point. The nonstop pressure was key. It was key for multiple reasons. Obviously, the optics of it. We don't know what the judges are looking for. But the casual fan, even the casual fan, it's tough for them. A casual fan, I mean, like who's never boxed before, never, had to slip a punch or never had to set anything up. It's really then hard to look for and understand what Andy was doing. Because Andy was standing on his back foot, catching him too, countering him. There's a reason Moratai's face was swollen, both eyes. So the game plan was on point, and the last 2 rounds, you got to finish the fight. And whoever here was saying that it was, I'm giving you compliments here. Whoever here last week was saying Cruz has never been 12 rounds. He's never been past. He's obviously been fast tracked. We got to see that in the 11th and 12th. It didn't look like he was fading, but I mean, he wasn't punching. So in a sense, he was fading because he got outworked in the championship rounds. Cruz was dancing and showboating too much. Zayas is officially on upset. Look, bro, I don't disagree with you. I definitely don't disagree with you. I'm a big fan of Xander Zayas, but I like Abbas Barral's performance. He looked great in his last fight. He dominated in his last fight. It wasn't even close. They couldn't even rob him if they wanted. You know what I'm saying? He dominated against Tejas. Another elite boxing marathon next weekend. Who is going to shock the world? Adu. That's a great catchphrase. Who's going to shock the world? I can't see Zayas lose. It's hard to. The thing about Xander is he doesn't do one thing exceptionally well. He doesn't, he's not a knockout artist. He's not he does everything really good. Super well-rounded, committed to the game, marketable, ticks all the boxes. I'm a big fan. He's one of my favorite fighters. Oh, I didn't even see this. Mosby, super chatted me, mate. Thank you, brother. Great picks this week. Also tailed your Seahawks bet. We winning. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I was 2 picks away from our UFC parlay, too. So the UFC boys, I'm sorry. I did 8 out of 10, which was stupid. But that's a long parlay, right? 8 out of 10. The only 2 I missed on the long parlay was Patty. And then, was it CJ? I don't think I put Charles on our long parlay. Damn, Charles got beat up. That was hard to watch, man. He's such a nice guy. Combat sports is such a brutal choice to live. Don't bash fighters, guys, man. It's You don't know what these guys are going through after losses. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hit 8 out of 10 on the UFC. Ty Miller 118, Josh Hokett 138, Nikita Krylov 219, Gaudier 110, Nurmagomedov 106. I took Arnold Allen at $3.08. He lost. Natalia Silva got a gift. Acosta won. Sean O'Malley won. And then I took Pimlet. Shout out to Gaethje, boy. Shout out to Gaethje. Thank you for the super chat, Mosby, and the support. JSB Insiders, we up. I love hearing that you're up. Barral has footwork, skill, and pressure. All of Zay's previous, but yeah, no. Barral, Barral has a little bit of game to him. Why does Charles Johnson stop? I don't know, man. Not even he stops the best, like, and how I don't know, man. It's a tough one, isn't it? I know he cuts a lot of weight. I know he cuts a lot of weight, and sometimes, man, to make that weight, if you're not fully rehydrated, I don't ever, he got clipped the first time and then he never recovered. You don't really see Charles Johnson get hit that clean all the time. It was just he was never able to fully recover after that first shot. Yeah, it was. But did Jesse Hart really fight like he was wanting to win that fight though? Like, ask yourself this, boys, and I can't answer this. We could ask ourselves this. If Khalil Coe made weight and the weight discrepancy wasn't an issue, do you think that the robbery narrative would still be as heavy? Do you think part of the heaviness of the robbery outcry is because he also missed weight? Or do you think that it was a clear day Jesse Hart win? Because I don't think it was as clear as people are saying it was. I thought Padley was lucky to get this in his last fight. Bro, Josh Padley is like, do your tape on this upcoming fight. We might got one. We're going to definitely get at least one dog. We get one every week, boys. We get one every week. We had, I think we're 3 weeks in a row. We had Jorge Chavez at plus money. J-Rod at plus money. I'd have to do, for how much work we all do together, it's hard to go back 3 weeks in time. but the receipts are online. I'll look. Yeah, but I get that. I think a lot of that is we're all disgusted with Coe. Like, what do you do? Do you even want to fight, mate? Are you proud? Like, you can't be proud of that this past week. Proud and dignity as a man. Whatever you do, guys, whatever you do, whether, you're my nephew shoveling snow or, you're the guy who is running a restaurant or whatever, or you're a professional in any sense of the matter, have pride in what you do, no matter what you do. That's who we are as men. Be proudful in your work. I was out at this jazz festival, and on the way there, we met up with two friends of a friend, and they're a little bit younger than me. And afterwards, in the debriefing after the concert, I was talking to my one buddy about his mate. I was like, bro, how disheveled was he? I go, to be in your 30s, you should it's important to take pride in, as a man, in your work and what you do, in your, like, how you present yourself. Khalil Coe, are you proud of that? Of course he would say no. Of course he would say no. Does he fight again? Do we see Coe fight again? Coe's on our ban list, boys. Khalil Coe is on our ban list. I won't even, I won't mention him. But I mean, how are you going to bet on him again? This is a good fight. Vozick versus Hot Rod looks to be a bloodbath. Stand and trade. Watch. This is one of those fights where everybody's going to get super sexy about the knockout, and it'll be one of these jab and grab sluggish events from like the 4th round onwards, and it goes to a decision, and people are all salty that they took the knockout. That's not my pick, though. Good day, John. Do you think Lopez can beat? Yes, Teo can beat Shakur. Teofimo Lopez could beat Shakur. Will he beat Shakur? It's hard for me to see Shakur losing. I can't wait for this week. I'm going to be watching a lot of, we all will. We'll be watching a lot of the interviews. We'll be watching. With Teofimo, it all comes down to his mind. How's he carrying himself? Where's his head at? It made sense. Madrimov looked horrible. Look, I talked about this. I posted this on my Instagram. Madrimov physically, he looked deflated. His his body composition looked way different. So that scream, we know that he had a couple surgeries. We know that he was battling pneumonia. So with all of that, that affects your lungs. That affects your ability to train. You could just see he wasn't in the weight room like he always is. He didn't have his legs. He wasn't on his toes. It looked like a completely different guy. It was, if you're the, when you look at a boxer and you know what they are at their best, and then you see them, a version of them, and they're not at their best, and then like, how much did he lose in the ring against Virgil? How much, every fighter leaves a piece of them in every fight. So then you got to start talking about, is that just continued damage? And then the empath in me is like, if that's the case, if that's the version of Madrimov we're going to get, I don't want to keep seeing that. He was getting hit way too much against a guy who got stopped at 140 pounds against Kevin Johnson. Shout out to KJ, never been stopped. Other than, guys, there's a few always bets on my channel. Gabby Fundora, I'm always betting at this stage of the game, her by knockout. Kevin Johnson, whenever he fights, the fight to go the distance, except against the Dominican when he stopped him. But this is the same guy who fought Madrimov, and he was landing on Madrimov. Something was evidently wrong with him, and I don't want to see that guy again. If he's not healthy, I don't want to see that guy again. Yeah, he had knee and shoulder, labrum and tendons in the knee. But that obviously you have time. You have to. He came back too quick. He wasn't ready to fight. Does he need money? Probably. All the Uzbeks live in a house together in California, so I don't know what they're like. Was he rushed back? Of course, he didn't look right. And I like Madrimov, man. That style, when he peak Israel Madrimov, is such a fun guy to watch. Super athletic. He still did his backflip, though, after the fight, which I was worried about. Odds are already odd from Good call, Will. Good call, Will. Will, is that a picture of The Secret on the book? Is your icon a picture that's on that book or no? Or is that, I can't tell. Odds are out for most of those. There was no footage of Salazar, and he had been stopped at a lower weight class. The move up must have improved his chin, because Madrimov wasn't shit in the fight. He just didn't have his explosivity. He didn't have his spring. The spring was not there. Win Santiago, man. Appreciate the super chat. Follow that man. Win is his first name for a reason. Guys in the Discord, get all the bets. Become part of our community. You would know that Win Santiago's name is Win for a reason, because we have this section in the Discord where you post your winning tickets, post all the parlays. It's not just boxing. It's a pro sports. It's all pro sports. We're launching NRL for the Aussies here. When the NRL season starts, we're launching that. Major League Baseball for the Americans, that's getting launched. We just launched tennis too. Whenever the favorite is early 30s, I'm taking the distance. Alex Calvin, what's up, buddy? Zaya Shakur Carrington. Yeah, it seems right. It seems right. There's money to be made this coming weeks. Yes. Yeah. Whenever you got your eye on something, Win, let us know. Post in the Discord, brother. Gasville. Let's see what that pays. You have me intrigued, brother. I can't believe Jermaine Ortiz on points is plus 900. What's Teo on points? Plus 440. I can't wait. There's so many questions to be asked about what game plan is Teofimo Lopez going to adhere to. You know what I'm saying? I cannot wait for that. I'm sure all you guys are the same to see, how does he come out in that first round? What does he do? What does he force Shakur into? How does Shakur handle whatever Teo gives him? The chess match of that, of each guy making a decision based on what the other guy's doing. Guys, wherever you are in the world, like this video, hit subscribe, join our growing JSB community. Discord, you can join on Patreon or on YouTube. We're at 350 JSB insiders. We up. It's a couple bucks a month. The link is pinned in the comment section. As you can see, all the boys talking with the stars next to their name. They're all insiders. I got a snipe for us. Gasville. Don't get me excited, mate. Put that in the Discord, boo. What are your thoughts on Adames and Ammo? I got Adames. Yeah. Noah, I see. Yeah. Carlos is a level above. Ammo's brave. What's up, light skin business? Top ranks on Tubi. I think Bob Aram said that this card was on something like that. We don't get Tubi in Australia. It's tough for us to get these top rank fights, which drives me absolutely insane. Barao is good, but Zayas in Puerto Rico should get the decision. How come Matias against Pero in Puerto Rico wasn't like? Is there? I don't. I'm not there. Do you think does Puerto Rico favor Zayas more than they favored Matias? Like the fan base? Pero got the decision in PR. There he is. Got a dog for sure. The dogs. Brian Flores, yes, great value fight. We got a lot to cover this week. So in our on our fight prediction playlist, the Stats Don't Lie videos. The first one coming out is tomorrow. Brian Flores, Sterling Castillo, Murtazaev, Josh Kelly, Carrington Castro. I got a lot of work to do. Adames Ammo, Keyshawn Jermaine, Teo Shakur, Xander. I got a lot of work to do. I got to get my ass to work. A lot of tape to watch. What's up, Johnny? You called the J-Rod upset. Good shit, Andy Cruz. I know, Gambino. I know it. We're still good, though. I know it. Yeah. It's. I don't know what it is. I talk about it all the time. A book that really helped me was The Book of Five Rings by Musashi. I read it in my 20s, and it's always allowed me to never get too high or never get too low. Like, I remember when my second book came out. It's my second published book came out, and it hit the bookstores in Australia. And my girlfriend was like, "Why don't you have a book release party?" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't." She was like, you just got your second book published. You wrote, you know what I'm saying? Like, you act like, I'm like, I got to do the third one now. Like, I've always been that type, learning about like how to keep your energy even. Don't get too high, don't get too low. So with my wins, we talk about them once together, we move on. Losses, we talk about them, move on. So of course the trolls will. I call the trolls our Johnny's babies. So Johnny's babies will bring them up our losses, but we need them too. By the way, I'm taking Lopez by decision. Great value. 100% Gambino. What do I always say? This is not an echo chamber. We don't have to agree on everything. Think about it like this. Harunian is better than Claggett, and Shakur whacks Harunian. Claggett's kind of tough, though. I think Claggett, people judge Claggett by his record. Claggett is tough. Harunian got more game. I agree. Harunian got more game. Harunian's a tough pro. And Shakur, yeah, this is my hesitation with Teo, is this exact argument. We've seen Teo shine. We've seen him have flat performances. Did you guys have Sandor Martin beating Teofimo Lopez? Say. What's up, JP? Johnny, who you got? Castillo Flores. Guys, I'm dropping that tape tomorrow. That's my first video coming out. I'll let you know soon. I'm like at the point of editing where the prediction is last. Who do you got, JP? Who you got? Let me ask you who you got. Help me out. Raw Dog, you called it. Raw Dog, you were on the live. You were commenting. You called it. Morataya, our local Fontana boy, showed pro experience. Yes. He looked amazing. I'm happy for him. Right now, I'm slightly leaning Keyshawn Davis knockout to stop Jermaine. Arian Samaru. I'll pin the link right here, bro. The Discord is Johnny Says Boxing. It's a couple bucks a month. You sign up on YouTube, which I'll send you the link, or Patreon. Whichever one you sign up on, you get access. Here you go, boys. It's pinned in the comment section, but here's the link again. Just click that. And then once you join, your whole world will open up to our Discord, which slaps. Guys, wherever you are in the world, it is Monday, going on 3 p.m. Happy Australia Day to the Aussies. Could you please like this video? If you haven't already subscribed, could you please do that? Join the Discord, too, to become part of our community. It's not just boxing. It's a cool community. I think Ammo will make the distance. He's shown some improvements to Shiraz's fight. He has. Oh, shit. He has. Anyone taking Ammo? Because Matthias is after me. Okay. Appreciate you answering that for me. Ammo's not world level. Damas will punish Ammo. I think so. Anyone taking Ammo, though? I want to see Shushu on the scale. Same. Bruce. So let's pull up some of the... so are we getting props on... So we heard some of the boys who like Teo on points at plus 440. Is Shakur on points the steal of the week at $1.56 or nah? Or is that our prop of the week? Is Shakur on points the prop of the week at $1.56, 56% return? I know a couple big bettors who will throw 10,000 on that. I know a guy who's putting 10,000 on Shakur on points to get 5,600 back. So you put 10,000 on Shakur on points, you get 5,600 back. Y'all got 10,000 bucks? I want to look at, was it the ammo props? Bruce Carrington, you said. I think Shushu, like, I'm not writing off Castro. Shushu on points, $1.94. One of my biggest props last year was Shushu on points at plus 500. He needs, yeah. Carrington needs to have like a Richardson Hitchens performance. You know what I'm saying? He needs to have that coming out party. He needs to go viral. He needs a knockout. I don't mind, but I got to rewatch Castro. Well, depending on what I see, I actually might play the knockout. We'll see. I got to rewatch Castro. That's why it's so fun. My girlfriend spent the night last night. I met her. Yeah, we live in the same neighborhood. She owns a place here. I'm over here. So it's good for our relationship because, you know, when we're sometimes living with each other, man, that's not the best move. And at this stage of the game, I highly recommend keeping it separate. But anyway, as I was watching a film last night, I was thinking, this is how big of a boxing nerd I am. As we were watching a film last night, I was thinking about Murtazayev's tape against Kolke. I was thinking to myself, I was like, I can't wait to rewatch that fight. I was like, I can't wait to rewatch Murtazayev Kolke and then Murtazayev Zoo. I'm going heavy on Castillo. Love what I see on tape. He's a hidden gem in the sport. Nice, man. Okay, I'm gonna keep that pin real quick, JP, and I'm gonna put that in my notes. Thank you. I see that you're an insider, and I have my book of notes to write when you speak. When guys like you, Julius, when the boys speak, I'm gonna check it out. Then, if you like what you see, because the odds right now are awesome. Let's pull it up. Starling Castillo, dog. Let's do this too. Did we feature him on the channel in his last fight? He's won 4 in a row. (20-1, 13 knockouts). 30 years old, El Bully. 5'9" southpaw. 140 pounds. He drew against Kenny De Leon. Lost against Arenashin. Won 4 in a row. Beat Jorge Torres. That was a comeback fight. Drew with De Leon. Estuary Suero. Sriracha. I gotta do my tape, man. I'll keep that in mind. The Pro Box cards are always fun firefights. We do really well on the channel on the Pro Box cards. So he's a little bit of a... Anybody taking Flores there? Guys, anybody taking Flores there? Shushu has consistently underwhelmed last few fights. He kind of has this... I think that Carrington... I put Carrington, like I talked about, in... I put Carrington in the same category as I put Tiger Johnson up until Tiger fought Nick Flaz. Who's your boy? We called that one, and I said... And we hit Tiger at plus 500 by knockout, and it was all and everybody was taking Nick Flaz, and it was based off of knowing Tiger's potential, knowing what he's capable of, just needing that performance and that opponent to bring it out of him. And I cannot wait to see Tiger's next fight. Now, I'm sure all of you, because he showed us what he could do. I think Shushu has that in him. I do. Tiger did it. He pulled it out with us. Richardson Hitchens against George. This is another pattern, Julius, that we could add separate to the fast-tracked under 10 fight pattern, who go in as favorites who lose, is this other pattern of guys who are like sort of prospect contender, marketable potential star guys that are having these underwhelming performances or sort of not fighting up to their potential, and us being able to, with the keen eye that we have, picking that specific outcome against a matchup. I just have to rewatch tape on Carlos though. I think Carrington's capable of viral performances, man. I don't think the hype is fake. I think he's super talented. I think he's skilled. I think he's fast. I think he could do a lot of things a lot of guys can't do. I just have to watch more Castro tape. Kelly is another Olympian that's going down. I like the odds, though, brother. I like the odds. Castillo's on Team DR as an amateur and travel the world. He's crafty. Bachram Adams knockout. Bruce points. That's all you get for now. Thanks, Gaspil. Bachram knockout Adams. Give it away. Free game. Group, get the rest soon. We appreciate you. The chat appreciates you. Castillo's sister's a former champ, too. That boxing pedigree matters, man. When it's in the blood, it matters 100%. You can't say that's not real. Y'all better join up GA's me. Bro, we got a squad in there, man. We got a squad in there. We got, and you know what we've done, if you guys have noticed, no one's talking about this. Have you noticed the last 4 weeks in the chat? Have you noticed less and less trolls? Have you noticed less and less bullshit conversation and more efficiency on what we're there to do? Shout out to our moderators. Shout out to the mods. I was like, no, the minute I see this, and this, boot out. We are a professional community. We are a growing betting community. We are not just boxing and combat sports. JSB, we up. You guys in the Discord have had to notice the difference in chat. That was by choice because some of you guys messaged me a month ago and say, hey, Johnny, you got to clean this stuff up. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Tiger versus Norman 2026. Let's go. Dude, let's go. Tiger versus Norman. Mate, I'm on Team Tiger. You know that. And you know I'm a Norman fan too. But we're talking about Ohio versus Georgia here now. We're talking about Cleveland versus Georgia here. Cleveland is the city where I come from. Think about back in the day. I'll start rapping. I agree. I think Shushu will raise the level and get the win. Not that I like the odds. Yeah, Will. We gotta be. If we're gonna. Carrington's one of these guys right now. Whenever he fights, the odds are always like this. You either bet against him and lose because he's winning, or you have to get sexy and get lucky with the method of victory, which we have. Pugilist is back. There he is. No. Pugilist. You should be in the Discord. If you have a star by your name, here's what you do. You email me. Pugilist, email me here, and then I'll check for you, all right? Email me there, and I'll check for you. Yeah, y'all be getting that money. What do you think about Kelce and Robinhood prediction? Guys, teach. In Australia, we don't have that. Are those like poly markets? I think those are poly market platforms. Down here in Australia, I checked last week if we had Kelce. We don't have it. Guys, we're approaching an hour. I'm going to be live again. I'm going live tomorrow. We got 2 lives a day moving forward. Tomorrow's my Tuesday. I'll be going live twice. I got 7 videos I'm going to bring to you. So if you're not aware of the breakdown prediction videos, those are the Stats Don't Lie videos. All you have to do on my YouTube channel is hit notifications. It's that little bell to where when I upload the Stats Don't Lie video, you'll be notified. When I go live, you'll be notified. Click the link that's pinned to join our Discord. You'll always be notified. And more importantly, you'll get to pick the minds of some of these professional bettors who win week in and week out with their sharp tips. So our community's growing. Boys, thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one.